Hello people, on my daily exercise. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, I was just want to talk about how the divide and conquer thing's going. We've had battles over the last few years, left and right, and Remainers, Leavers. We saw the football lads coming together, which was a good thing, even if it was short-lived. So, yeah, I think the divide now is those living in fear and those willing to fight for their freedom. Because all those living in fear, waiting for the government to give them the next instruction, I'm going to hold you responsible for me losing my freedom if that becomes the case. Because I do not consent to my rights being taken away. I do not consent to being under house arrest, and I do not consent to being fined if I go out publicly. So yeah, I mean, they really got you this time, didn't they, with the fear mongering. You know, it's good to see people out and about, and it's good to see those that don't jump into the hedge to avoid you. People are waking up, thankfully, but yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that I never knew there'd be so many frightened people in this country. I thought we were getting somewhere. You know, all the demos and all these people, keyboard warriors, I'll come out when the fight starts. Well, it started when the attackers took our rights away. And all these people afraid of getting the coronavirus. Well, what about the millions that die of flu every year, despite having a flu jab? Are you not afraid then? Do you ask for 3 months off in the winter time during that flu period so that you don't get infected or infect anybody else? No, you don't. And the more evidence that's coming out, the more that fear seems ridiculous. It's just not validated, really. And what are you going to do? Stay until there's a vaccination that's going to kill you? Well, not me. Not at all. Especially not on St George's Day. Got my Union Jack. Fly with colours with pride. But yeah, St George, he fought to save Christianity. And that's why, despite being born in Turkey, he was appointed by the king our saint because of the Christian values that he held. And as an example to us as a nation, really, to be proud, not live in fear, fight for our rights. Well, we've been stripped of those bit by bit. You know, it seemed at one point every week there was another right taken away from us, another rule, another restriction. And mostly tied to a fine, obviously, as they do. But yeah, I mean, the latest one, taxes for breathing, to save the planet, while they're raping the planet of every asset that it's got. The lifeblood's being drained out of it and we're getting the blame for it. How do you like those eggs, eh? Clearly it's not us. We haven't got the power or the money or the control. But you've got to decide, are you free? Do you exercise the free will that you were born with? Or you're a slave? Do you like being a slave? Do you like being told everything you can do, can't do? Dictated to? How you bring up your kids? What job you get, where you go, what vaccines are put into your blood? Are you happy with that? Because I'm not. And the only way, I mean, I said it when I was doing all the demos and everything, especially with the yellow vests over Brexit, the only way we could stop what was going on in this country, the corruption, forced adoption, social care, stealing children, all of that sort of thing. I mean, look at the NHS celebration at the Olympics. That should tell you enough already. They're stealing your children and you're just clapping them as they do it. They are sick motherfuckers, honestly. They are so sick that they have us celebrating while they destroy us. Yay! Let's all celebrate while they end the human race as we know it. While they take our rights away, take our children away, take our health away. And we all just sit there going, oh, so what's next? Bring it on. Fuck me up the arse while you're at it, eh? No, not for me. No, I was never one for anal sex, really. Not in that way, for sure. But no, I'm not going to sit back and allow my rights to be taken away. I'm a free spirit. I was born a free spirit. I was free to roam as a child. And that's what I intend to do till I die. But, you know, everyone's got a choice. And I suppose it's up to you to make that choice. But just bear in mind whether you want to be a slave or whether you want to be free. Because as much as we couldn't get the people behind us or the power behind us to shut down the country, pardon me, shut down the country, they did it for us. And I just think, well, that's a good thing. Things have come to a halt in a lot of areas. We need to get them under a microscope while they are shut down, or actually working on bare minimum. And we have to make sure that it doesn't go back to how it was. We have to fight for all those children to be returned home who were wrongfully taken. And I know some people say, well, don't take kids for nothing. If you've done drugs or drink or whatever, well, so what if they have? Because a lot of them that I've seen, they've been clean. It doesn't make any difference how clean they've been for, how long they've been clean, or what evidence they can show. They'll still use it against them. So if you've never drank to excess or you've never tried drugs, well, bully for you. Hopefully you keep your kids, but don't judge those that have taken the choices that they've made, because as I say, most of them that I've met, they've been fighting to get things back on track. They've been clean, you know. They're willing to fight because they've already lost everything. They lost their children. Well, you know, if you allow this to happen, if you all sit in your houses afraid of the big bad wolf, well, do you know what? You're afraid to live. You're actually afraid to live, because I would rather live dangerously than quietly as a slave. It's not for me. No way, Jose. Not going to happen. But, like I say, for those of you that do choose slavery, that are choosing slavery, domination, forgetting that you've got any ounce of common sense and ignoring your intuition, ignoring the facts that are now out there behind all the MSM bullshit, if you prefer to sit in your house and be afraid of everything and everyone, then so be it. It's your life. Not that it'll be much of one, but it's your life. I'd rather die on this path, struck by lightning today, than end up a slave. You know, because I want to live every single day. I want to live it. I don't want to sit in my house worrying about whether I've got a future. I live in the present. I live in the now. I'm not bothered about the future. I am bothered about the future for my grandchildren. But I'm not going to worry about that. All I can do is make every day as good as possible. And that's what I intend to do. You know, we're teaching the grandchildren. It's great that they're not in school. I love it. I hate those places. Toxic environments. Just brainwashing and dumbing down the next generation after the next generation for 30 years at least. 40 maybe. So yeah, I live near the bypass. And see, on days like this, usually biker after biker after biker whizzing past, because it's a real good road, wide enough to get some speed up. And they love it, the bikers. But you know what? Not heard them. And I'm thinking, well, surely, if you're a biker and you've been laid off work, fuel being as cheap as it is right now, you'd be enjoying the quiet roads out on your bike, because let's face it, you've got a helmet on, There's no cafes open, so it's not like you're going to stop and sit with people. Well, how come all the bikers are staying at home? Why are you not taking advantage of this good weather? And the freedom and the quiet roads. Because believe you me, I've been out on the roads far enough to see how quiet they are. And yeah, you see one or two police on the way, but what are they going to do? Pull you over on your motorbike? Don't think so. I just think, where's your balls? Where's your balls? Hey, you bikers, big-hard bikers, all sitting at home, frightened of a coronavirus, it would seem. Well, if I had a bike, I'd be out on it. I'd be putting a flask up and I'd be going, taking full advantage of those quiet country roads. You're never going to get a time like it. And you're all sitting at home frightened. Frightened of what people will say. That's the biggest fear that people have. What if somebody says something because I'm out and I shouldn't be out? Well, who said you shouldn't be out? What harm are you doing being out somewhere like this? Hey? None. If you want to sit in your homes and be frightened, that's fair enough. But don't expect me to like it when they push more and more restrictions on us and you become slaves of your own free will. They can't do anything without our consent. There's too many of us. They have to take our power away. They have to get us in fear, living in fear. That's what the TV's for. Keep you in fear. Let you know what they want you to know, what they want you to believe. Don't think for yourself. Slaves don't think for themselves, you know. They just take it blindly. And that's what you're doing. Taking it blindly. If you aren't doing your research, if you aren't standing up for your right to be free. But I'm just letting you know, that won't be me. Freedom's always been very important to me, having a very overbearing father. So yeah. It's family having a good time. So have a think about it. Freedom might be a bit dangerous, might be living on the edge a little bit. Or slavery, where you just do as you're told, you stay in, you take your pittance, you get your food vouchers, that's what it'll be. Back to rations. They're already putting out there that it's going to be food shortages. What a load of bull. So yeah, it's up to you folks. Stand up for yourselves on St. George's Day. You know, I would rather fight to the death than give up my rights, give up my freedom and become a slave. No way. So yeah, I mean, can I just say as well, those people that are taking it upon themselves to volunteer as prison wardens in this open prison that we now become. When you're sticking the notes on old people's doors, telling them what they're allowed to do, and telling them you're going to report them to the police because a family member's been round to get them shopping. Well, you're the virus. Sorry, but you are. You are the fucking virus. You can threaten your neighbours with the police because the family members are coming around to help them, because they choose not to live in fear, because they choose to care about their family more than they care about what other people think, and they choose not to leave those people on their own at this time. You're as bad as they are. Self-appointed prison wardens. It's like all these people that report families, ex-partners use social services to destroy their ex-partner and the children. Virus. You're the virus on humanity. You've got no compassion and you're not in touch with your spirit, are you? You just use the system that you want to be part of when it works in your favour, and you don't care about the outcomes. Same as them. You're as bad as they are. So yeah, I'm afraid it's us and them now. Freedom fighters against slaves. So, which one are you? Let me know in the comments. Cheers, folks. Have a good day. St. George's Day. Bye-bye for now.